Alright, hello guys, and welcome to this stream of the NRL 1 versus 1 tournament. We have a few drivers competing here today to take home the title of this 1v1 tournament. So it's certainly going to be interesting. And the first matchup is FVR Black Box versus URL David, and it's a good start for David as he gets ahead of Black Box in towards turn 1. These two are very quick drivers, and it'll be interesting to see how this pans out, as URL David is the tier 1 PlayStation champion and FVR Black Box is a PlayStation tier 3 driver, but arguably should be higher up, as many have argued. But URL David got the better start, got the better jump from P2, and he leads Black Box on this first lap of the race. So this is the first time we have tried a 1v1 tournament here at NRL. It's a unique concept, which is what we offer here at the Nitrous Racing League. But if you want to get involved, head to our Discord, where there are plenty of other events coming before F122's release, which is when we will be opening up the leagues again. But it looks like Black Box is able to stick with the tier 1 champion for now, and obviously the first 3 laps are kind of a simulation until you get to lap 3, and that's where you see the real battling beginning to commence. Thank you for the follow, Kajaki. I'm hoping you are enjoying the stream so far, as URL David is closing in here on Black Box as they head towards turn 3 on lap 2. Purple final sector for Black Box. He's just following the Red Bull at the moment. URL David going for the Red Bull liveries. He gets all out of shape on the exit, and this might give FER Black Box a bit of a run down straight, but he's too far back. But the driver in black does have more ERS than the Red Bull driver in front of him, so that could be crucial come the end of this duel between these two drivers. Thank you for the follow, FRL Formula Racing League. I'm hoping you are enjoying the stream as well, as URL David is now starting to pull away a bit, but FER Black Box is doing well just to keep the gap within 1 second, and he'll be rewarded when he gets the DRS down on the next lap, as he is now getting in the slipstream of URL David and closing in a bit on the Norwegian driver in front of him. I think Norwegian, I apologize if I'm mistaken, but I believe he is Norwegian. But FER Black Box is now all over the gearbox of URL David, and he will be getting DRS. They start this lap, URL David with the fastest lap of 28.6. Of course, this setup is locked, so this is just a battle of pure speed between these two drivers, who are very quick, as we know, as URL David is going to be under pressure from Black Box here, as he runs a bit wide again. This time he manages to get a nice clean exit though, but FER Black Box has the DRS, so will close in by at least a tenth down this straight, which could put URL David under pressure on the run into Stowe. But for now he has to navigate this tricky sector 2 section, keeping it just about within track limits. This is very close racing here between these guys. At the moment though, no way through for Black Box, but he is keeping in touch with the Red Bull driver. He's managing to pull away from Black Box as they go through Maggots and Beckett's, but Black Box now has the DRS, and this is where we're going to start see the real battle start to begin, as URL David has less ERS as well, around 40%, 40% for the Red Bull, and around 70 for the car behind. So this could be very interesting as we head on to the final few laps of this duel here in Silverstone, a quite glum and overcast day, much as it is right now in the UK. quite near to Silverstone. I live quite near to the track, so almost replicating the weather conditions here in real life. But FER Black Box now could have the run on David as they head down the straight, as Black Box has the DRS, but can he make it capitalize? It looks like he's going to stick behind for now. Look how close he is now to the back of the Red Bull. This is going to get feisty here, as we're now on the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. 5-lap sprint between these two drivers to see who will move on to the second round of this tournament to face Elite Casper, who beat Crumpton due to a forfeit from Crumpton, who just didn't join the session. So not quite sure what happened there, but Black Box now, it will be all over Ural David with the DRS and the ERS. Can he make it work? Ural David's going to use all his ERS, and FER Black Box is just going to save his ERS. He's waiting for the last lap. He knows that's when Ural David will be vulnerable, and he's waiting until the last lap in the last few corners to try and get the move done on the Red Bull in front of him. But can Ural David do a very quick final lap to warn off any sign of attack from the car behind him? He's done a purple sector 3, to be fair to him, but look how close Black Box is as they go in towards the turn 3 braking before swinging it left for turn 4, which exits onto the long straight. But they're both fairly composed. They head down into turn 5 and turn 6, and no moves attempted there. But it's all gonna blow up on the final straight of this race. Black Box is he's using all his ERS, try to get close. Could he go for it? Oh, that was very close between another Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen at Cops, but Ural David has run wide and he's picked up a 3-second time penalty, or maybe 2, I'm not sure, but either way it's 2 seconds. But either way, that's going to give Black Box the win as long as he can keep it in a straight line. But Black Box is going to go for the move anyways. He's going to win it on track. He moves out to the right. Ural Davis sees it coming, can't do anything to defend it. The rear end is loose. He might launch it down the inside into the final few corners. He does launch it. Black Box leaves the space. It's beautiful racing. He goes for the switchback into the final corners. They go around the final corner. Ural David just about wins it on track, but it's Black Box who takes the win due to Ural David's penalty, and that is a great first round there from those two drivers. But Black Box comes out on top, and he will move into the winners semi-final to race Elite Casper here. As you see there, Black Box just got the fastest lap on the final lap. Great racing there in the final few corners. It was quite calm and docile until the final few corners, but that was a good race between those two. And next we will be moving on to AGR UK versus Charlie 0989, which is going to be another interesting battle between those two to see how that fares, see how that pans out, as I believe these two have raced together in PlayStation Tier 2 before, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But let me just send the invites out to these drivers. As just recapping on that first round, that was an amazing duel between FER Black Box and Ural David. Kept us on the edge of our seats until the final corner, but unfortunately for Ural David, he will be moving down into the lower bracket, so he will have to fight to make his way back to what possibly could be the final. But as AJUK and Charlie are here, and we're going to generate the track. And the next track is going to be USA. So we are heading to Kota for round 2 between AJUK, well, round 3 essentially, between AJUK and Charlie. As this is going to be definitely interesting. It's a very different track from Silverstone, but of course setups are locked here in this 1v1 tournament, so essentially the drivers should have an equal chance at glory, but maybe AJUK prefers this track to Charlie. I don't think the two, I remember AJUK racing here. I don't know if Charlie was present that day. And yeah, that was very close. I agree, Natty. I didn't even realise Black Box picked up a penalty, but yeah, that was very close as we now go towards 5 red lights here for round 3. AJUK looked like he got the best start, but it looks like Charlie has gotten better release. They head down towards turn 1. AJUK might look down the inside, but he's going to stick behind for now. Just follow the black car in front of him as they head through the S section. AJUK looks a bit quicker at the moment, but of course it's all going to come down to this final few laps, where the drivers are going to have to will have the benefit of DRS. But it looks like AJUK doesn't want to wait. He's going for it straight away, and he takes the lead, but he does run a bit deep, so that's going to give Charlie the switchback opportunity, and Charlie immediately takes back the lead. But AJUK is going to have the run down the straight, and this is already proving to be a very close battle as they head down towards the downhill braking. Charlie just about outbrakes AJUK. AJUK gets the switchback on Charlie and tries to switch back him again. Very close to contact there, but Charlie sticks ahead for now. But he's left himself a bit compromised. He's gone a bit tight into that corner, but he sticks ahead for now. So AJUK already showing he's not going to wait behind like Blackbots did. He's going to be nice and aggressive in these opening few laps. Look to get the track position, which could be beneficial around here at Kota more than it is at Silverstone, so to speak. But Charlie sets the fastest lap, of course, leading us on lap 1, the whole of lap 1. AJUK though is right next to Charlie, and this is going to be certainly interesting as they go through S section, where we saw AJUK gaining on lap 1. Looks like he might have the advantage as that curb is sparking away there. One of the most annoying curbs on the game, because it always seems like sparking away. But both drivers running a bit deep there, just coming off the S section. But through sector 1, looks like Charlie has maintained his lead and actually pulled out by a few tenths. But AJUK is a bit later on the brakes there, and he pulls back some much needed times. They now go down to the main straight. I'm so sorry, I've not pulled up the ERS levels. The telemetry is 40% for AJUK, but he's going for the move anyways. Charlie leaves the space just about, and it's great racing. He has much more ERS, but AJUK is driving so aggressively. He wants to get this move done on Charlie here, but Charlie's just about hanging on here in the black multiplayer car that he is driving in. But AJUK getting a wash of understeer as he runs a bit wide, but as he runs a bit wide again, and that's actually lost him so much time. AJUK for now just needs to stick within that DRS. He has a lot less ERS than Charlie though, so this might be a problem coming towards the end of the race. But for now, AJUK is just about sticking with Charlie, and he is within the DRS range for when they reach the detection point at the end of this lap. And I'm sure the next 3 laps are going to be spicy, as we've already seen AJUK being nice, punchy and aggressive without the DRS, and with the DRS he could definitely look to make the move, and it would be much easier for him, as he now has successfully achieved DRS. He goes nice and late on the brakes there, right up Charlie's gearbox, but unfortunately gets a bit of oversteer on the exit. Charlie's going to defend the inside and then move back to the outside. He's got to make his move. He goes to the inside again. AJK is going to waste all his ERS, try go around the outside, but Charlie defends it well, and AJK just has to sit back for another lap. So 3 duels so far between these drivers, and in every one of them Charlie has come out on top. So even if AJK gets the overspeed, can he actually make the move? He has 2 more laps to try and get past Charlie here, as we head towards the end of lap 3. He runs a bit wide again. It looks like he's just struggling with understeer through that corner. The gap now grows to 8 tenths, but we saw that happen last lap as he sets the fastest lap. He just closes in on the main straight and through the first sector where it looks like he's faster. He had a little look down the inside at Charlie, but Charlie was unfazed by the dummy and held his position, as we now begin lap 4 of 5 here in Kota. Can AJUK possibly make the move here on Charlie, as they now head towards the main straight for the 4th time in this duel, as AJK runs very wide on the exit. Thankfully he doesn't lose the car on the grass, as that could have been a wrap for his chances of getting to the winners semi-finals here. But he's going to have the slipstream here on Charlie. He's not got a lot of ERS though, and he can't afford to use it, so Charlie just sticks in front of him this time. But on the final lap, AJK is going to drain that ERS in hopes of getting past Charlie, so just watch out. But for now, Charlie stays ahead for another lap. He's led every lap, but so did NRL David, who led every lap, but unfortunately for him, it didn't pan out the way he wanted it to. But it could for for Charlie here, if he can just hold on. He has about 20% more ERS than the orange, the blue-orange car behind him. Looks like AJK is repping NRL, which is very cool to see, and he might actually go for a move here in towards turn 1, but no, he does not. Charlie just sticks behind Charlie, and there's a bit of contact there, and this might give AJK the run into the S section. He's going to try cut underneath, but no, he can't get the move done, so he's just going to have to stick behind onto the main straight as they go past the sparking curb once again, as they exit the S section for the 5th and final time this race, onto the exit where AJK ran wide just 1 lap ago. He keeps it within track limits this time. Charlie moving over to left to stop AJK doing that dive bomb he did on lap 1, but that's actually left him a bit compromised here onto the main straight. AJK is going to drain the battery. Charlie's not going to use his battery. He's gonna keep it, and AJK flies past into P1. And is that a tactical mistake from Charlie, or is he gonna somehow manage to use his ERS in this tricky last sector to try and get past? This could be a big tactical blunders. Charlie goes for the big dive bomb. He bumps past AJUK, and he gives the position back, to be fair to him. But now this is giving Charlie a chance to be very close to AJK. He could launch it down the inside here. He's not going to. AJK breaks nice and late. Into the final corner. Is Charlie going to go for it? He does. He completely mistimes it, and he slows down to let AJK win the race. And AJK will be moving on to the winners semi-final. So a great performance from AJK there, who takes the win Charlie, I think, might have forgotten to use his ERS down the straight on the final lap, but that is unfortunately for him the end of his chances of getting to the winner semi-final. But he will drop into the losers semi-final. Actually, it's called losers round 1, so we'll have to see how that goes. But well done to AJUK, who now moves on to the winners semi-final, where he will be racing the winner of Ken versus Riker. But that's round 1 matchup may not be going ahead due to Riker struggling with his internet, I think, or no, he says he's not home yet, so it might be a bit touch and go to see who can get in. But from the 2 races we've had so far, it's been a success. A very, very close first race between FER Blackbox and Euro David, where Blackbox came out on top, and he's going to race Elite Casper in round 2, and then AJUK versus Charlie. AJUK won that matchup, and then Riker versus Ken. Riker is not here, so Ken will get a bypass to the next round. So that means that the next race that we will be shown on the stream will be possibly Crumpton versus Euro David, if Crumpton can join the lobby this time, which he didn't for some reason the first time. So we'll have to wait and see if he can get in. But let's see how that goes for Crumpton in his quest to join the lobby. As Euro David is now into lobby, I don't know if Crumpton will be joining us here tonight. But anyways, as I was saying before, if you would like to get involved in the racing, head over to our Discord, where where you can get involved in the racing. But at the moment it looks like Crumpton does not want to get involved in the racing, so that might mean Euro David gets the bypass to the losers semi-final, I believe, which would be beneficial for the Norwegian driver, who will hope to be meeting Black Box again in the grand final, or possibly in the losers bracket if FER Black Box loses to anyone in the upper finals. sorry, in the upper bracket, but we'll have to wait and see how that pans out, as we're just waiting for Crumpton. But if Crumpton does not appear, then we should have Elite Casper versus Black Box next, as Charlie will get a bypass to the next round due to Casper not being here, and it doesn't look like Crumpton is going to join, so we will just move ahead with the next matchup, which will be Elite Casper versus FVR Black Box. As the invites are out to those two. We're now just waiting on Elite Casper to join, and then we can get racing in the winners semi-final, as it's called. And the track for this matchup is going to be is going to be Singapore. So that is going to be interesting to see how this pans out between Casper and FVR Black Box in underneath the lights here in Singapore. A very difficult circuit to navigate. So we'll have to see how these drivers do as we get ready for the winners semi-final. FVR Black Box we saw compete in that very close race one between him and Euro David, in which he took the victory, and then Casper, of course, Casper got a bypass as Crumpton is not here. As the drivers are now readying up, and we're getting ready to go racing here for the third time tonight. As we now progressing through the rounds, we're going towards the winners semi-finals. The other winners semi-final is going to be Edge UK versus Ken 9543, otherly known as Khaled Cookie to some people. But that will be a good matchup, as will be Ken's first race, as he unfortunately did not get to race in the first round due to Riker forfeiting. But we're getting ready to go racing here, as you just wait for Black Box and Edge UK to ready up so we can go racing in the Singapore heat. It's a nighttime race, of course, as it is in real life, and waiting for the drivers to go to ready up and get racing. 15 seconds until lights out between Black Box and Elite Casper, so let's see how that pans out between those two drivers as we go towards 5 red lights for the winners, the first winners semi-final, and it's lights out and away we go. It's a good start for Black Box, who got the benefit of pole position here, and Casper is run very deep in towards turn 1 already, so it looks like he's struggling already through the first turn, but it's a very long race, and well, not in real life it would be a very long race, and if we're doing a 50 it would be a very long race. Unfortunately, due to it only being 5 laps, it's a shortened race, but still it's quite long compared to other tracks. But at the moment it looks like Black Box has got the pace on the Casper, so could this be the first race where we see a driver just drive away from the other driver in question? Casper's running very wide through the old Singapore swing, and he's already picked up a 2-second time penalty, so I think that this could be Black Box winning this semi-final, as Elite Casper clunks against the wall there. Damage is off, of course, so he has left the session actually, so I'm not sure if that's a disconnect or a rage leave, but it means that Black Box will be winning this second semi-final here, this first semi-final here between himself and Elite Casper. So Black Box will take the victory here. As I've told Black Box to retire unless Casper can get back into the session, which I don't think he can. As his car is still AI, and yeah, Black Box is retired. So Black Box takes the win here in the first semi-final, because Casper, unfortunately, I don't know if he left or he had connection issues, but either way, FER Black Box wins the semi-final and progresses to the winners final. So it will be AJ UK versus Ken next in the second winners semi-final. So we'll have to see how that progresses. As the invites are being sent out now to AJK and Ken, so we can go racing here for semi-final number 2. And the track we will be racing at is going to be it's going to be Mexico. So the track generator has generated Mexico for this matchup between Ken and AJK. As we just wait on AJK to join the lobby. AJK has joined the lobby, so we'll just wait for the drivers to ready up and we can get racing as we head to the winners semi-final race 2 between Ken and AJK. First race tonight for Ken, as unfortunately AJK forfeited, sorry, not AJK, Riker forfeited their first round matchup. So it will be AJK, the season 1 tier 2 champion, versus Ken, a multiple season 2 tier 2 race winner, but unfortunately he did not take home the championship. I believe he finished I want to say 8th in the championship off the top of my head. I think it was definitely top 10, and he won 2 races in the previous season. But anyways, that is irrelevant now as we go towards 5 red lights here for the Mexican Grand Prix. It's a long run down towards turn 1, but it looks like Ken's got a much better start than AJK, but AJK is going to get the slipstream down towards turn 1. But at the moment it looks like all positions stay equal as Ken there just getting the better launch off the line than AJK in his blue orange car, and Ken is rocking the Evera Gaming livery. As he is a Evera Gaming driver, he's rocking the livery, so that's very cool to see. But AJK is managing to stick with him for now through the second sector they go, and obviously we'll have to watch out for the penalties as that could play a big part. Even in a 5-lap race, the track limits around here are still deadly, so both drivers have to watch out as to where they're treading. But at the moment it looks like AJK has the pace to stick with Ken, and unfortunately for him he can't attack Ken straight away like he did with Charlie, so it looks like he might just deploy FER black box tactic and stick behind, but he's already drained all of his ERS, and I'm not really sure why, because we're only on lap 2 here and he only has 20% ERS, and he's also almost not in the DRS. If he falls out of DRS range, it is race over for AJK because he has no ERS now. But maybe he's confident in his abilities to keep the gap to 1 second. But we'll also have to watch out for the warnings for both of these guys, because Ken may have more warnings as of right now, and that could play a crucial part later in the race. But Ken keeping it nicely within track limits, and AJK actually was the one who picked up the 2-second time penalty, so that could be a wrap for AJK in terms of his chances of winning against Ken here in the winners semi-final. But he has managed to crucially stick within the DRS, so if Ken picks up the time penalty as well, that means it's all equal between these two drivers, so have to wait and see. But unfortunately he doesn't get it this lap, and he won't get it on the next straight either, as I believe there's only one detection zone at Mexico, unless I'm wrong. But no, yeah, there's only one detection zone, so he does not get the DRS, unfortunately for him, so he's going to have to wait till lap 4 to get the DRS on the Finnish driver, who is parking his Evera Gaming multiplayer car quite nicely here in front of AJK. AJK has a 2-second time penalty as well, and that was definitely another warning, so he's got to be careful as he just cuts across the chicane, and that's 4 seconds now for AJK. So that is practically a race over for AJK unless Ken also picks up certain time penalties. But that is unlikely. We know Ken has the ability to dominate races in Tier 2, and he's doing it here again tonight, as he's gonna, it looks like, it looks like at the moment he's going to completely blitz the opposition here in round 1, well, his first race. And LGK now has officially run out of ERS, so Ken, I think he could quite easily say, has got this one in the bag, unless he makes a silly mistake as LGK runs wide and tracks extends, again picking up another warning, which is rather unfortunate for the man repping the NRL colours. He will, as it stands, he will drop into the lower bracket, and he will race against URL David here. So URL David versus Educate is possibly going to be the next race if Educate cannot fathom some kind of response here, as we now head onto the final lap, and the gap has grown to 2.8, so I think it's fair to say that Ken has won this race quite easily. As AJK has given us a little weave for the stream, I think he knows that his race is over here. But it is a double elimination bracket, of course, and if you're not used to what a double bracket elimination tournament is like, you have to lose twice to get eliminated. So instead of one and done, you have to lose twice to get eliminated, essentially. So the next race will be a knockout between AJK and URL David. Whoever loses between them two will be knocked out of the competition, and we'll unfortunately have to track the rest of the race from the stream. But it's been a textbook performance from Ken. That's how you lead from the front. The confetti comes up as the Finnish driver rounds the final corner and comes up to win the Mexican Grand Prix and book himself a place in the winners final against FVR Black Box. That is going to be a great race there, and AJK has spun on the final corner here. Unfortunately for him, after his great win in round 1, he cannot repeat the performance, but he will get to race Euro Davis. He's given us a few donuts here, and now he comes to cross the line. So AJK versus Euro David is going to be the next race. But congratulations to Ken for taking home the victory. Never really looked in doubt, did it? He had it pretty much controlled from the line, from the start line, and he didn't look back once during the race. There was a point where you thought AJK might have the chance to possibly get a move done, but after he picked up 4 seconds of time penalties, it was wraps for him. But anyways, the random track generator has generated, sorry, 1 second, as I invite David to the lobby. Anyways, yeah, the random track generator has generated the Belgian Grand Prix for the next round. So we're going to the longest track on the F1 calendar. As it will be Euro David versus Edu UK, the reigning Tier 1 champion versus the former PlayStation Tier 2 champion. So This is going to be an interesting matchup. Matchup between NRL champions here, as we go towards the final few races of this tournament. Of course, building on that point of the double elimination bracket, if the winner from the low bracket gets to the end and beats the winner from, well, the person that's basically won every race, then the bracket will basically, it's called a bracket reset, so the drivers race again, as it's unfair for the winner to win every race and then not win the tournament because he lost the last one. So basically, if the loser wins, they will race twice essentially to decide the winner. But it's AJK who starts from pole here, but Euro David's got a better start down towards turn 1. He's going to look to the outside. AJK is going to defend it quite well, and Euro David's had to run off track. He's had a massive moment as he rejoins the track behind AJK, but he's going to have the run now up Eau Rouge as they head down towards, as they barrel down the straight. It looks like Euro David's got the slipstream. He's got the straight line speed. He can't. AJK tries to defend, but he cannot. Euro David's going to go to the inside. AJK's going to fight around the outside though, and they've all made contact there. But luckily, Euro David does not get spun around, and AJK just about keeps position. But Euro David's going to launch one down the inside. Both drivers run a bit deep, but the respect is there between the two champions. Euro David giving AJK a bit of a squeeze. They go really close, but it's Euro David who just about takes the position on lap 1 and now leads AJK as they head down towards the two S-section-esque corners, you could say, before ending sector 2. And that was a great battle between those two drivers for the first few corners of this race, and great respect there to not spin each other out, as Spa is one of those tracks where you can easily be spun around or easily spin it yourself with the curbs. I have a lot of experience doing that. Spa's not one of my happy hunting grounds, but it may be for AJK or Euro David. If they could qualify for the losers final, they will race the winner of Elite Casper or Charlie 0989, which that race may be cancelled if Charlie does not show up. Sorry, not Charlie. If Elite Casper did not show up, we saw him having, I think, connection issues in the winners semi-final against Black Box, so if that's still continuing, his tournament could be a wrap. But AJK is going to go for the move immediately on Euro David on lap 2, wasting no time. Euro David is going to do what AJK did to him 1 lap ago and keep it around the outside. AJK thought about having a look around the outside, but realised there was no way through, and he's going to have to stick behind another lap. And this is already an amazing battle between these two drivers, but with the aid of DRS, it's going to be even all closer. But AJK has picked up a 2-second time penalty, so that could be a big problem as he gets all over that curb, and that is an auto spin curb. He is so lucky he did not spin it around. He mounted it so much that it actually did not spin him around, as he's just picked up another warning there as he gets all over that curb as well. But AJK does have a 2-second time penalty, but remember, in round 1 it was Euro David's 2-second time penalty that decided the outcome of that race. So that could be the same issue here for AJK if he gets in front. But it also lets us know that Euro David is prone to picking up a penalty, as AJK had a bit of a look down the inside at the bus stop chicane as he sets the fastest lap of 45.8, and now he's all over Euro David. This, of course, the first corner detection point comes just after it, so we've seen many games in esports with drivers slowing down to try let the other one through, because the DRS is just so powerful. You're going to see it right here. I expect AJK to completely blitz past Euro David as look at the straight line speed of the orange blue I almost said McLaren there, orange blue multiplayer cars. He just gets past Euro Davis so easily in towards turn 4, I want to say. But Euro Davis having a look where he overtook AJK on lap 1, but AJK this time sees it coming, defends wisely as they now head down. AJK, he had to be careful there as Euro David was sticking his nose up the inside, and this great battling between these two NRL champions. AJK though is going to get spun around then by Euro David, and just pushing too much there between the two drivers, as AJK now might certainly be out of this maybe out of contention for the losers semi-finals. But maybe Euro David makes a mistake as well. That's the first bit of contact we've seen between drivers today, as AJK, unfortunately for him, coming out the worst of the contact. But that doesn't mean to say that he is getting knocked out for sure, as anything can happen still in this race. We've still got 1 3/4 laps of this very long racetrack, as for anyone wondering, Wales have qualified for the World Cup, so that's great news for them. But anyways, back to this duel here. It doesn't look like AJK can catch up now. The gap is now 7 seconds. Fortunately for him, there's no damage, so he wouldn't have picked up any damage from that collision there with David. But he has lost a lot of time to the Red Bull driver. But at the moment, it looks like Euro David's just cruising, as he has 100% ERS basically now. So it looks like he's not been using the ERS, and he's still doing purple sectors. So that just shows you his pace here, as AJK now looks to catch up to Euro David and get a move done, but it looks very, very unlikely. And unfortunately, this could be the end of AJK's night. If he cannot catch up to Euro David, then he is eliminated for sure. 2 races. If you lose 2 races, you lose. You're essentially knocked out of the tournament. And AJK just suffered that defeat to Ken, and he could be suffering another defeat here to Euro David, unless he can close the gap here in the final few laps. But it does not look likely, unfortunately for him. But of course, if you want to get involved in the racing, head to our Discord, as I mentioned multiple times this evening. Of course, this stream is sponsored by Data, and they do loads of cool stuff for weddings and birthday parties and stuff like that, as AJK has lost the car, and he certainly will not be having a party here, as that is the end of his evening now. Euro David will go on to win in this losers round 2 matchup. That means he will face the winner of Elite Casper and Charlie 0989, and that is going to be such an interesting matchup. I think I think Elite Casper might not join due to connection issues, but Euro Davis steals the fastest lap away from AJK on the final lap. That is how to beat a man when he's down, as he steals it by almost 1.1 seconds. So amazing lap from the Norwegian there, as AJK, unfortunately for him, this is the end of his evening. It was some good moments of racing we saw from the former Tier 2 champion, but unfortunately for him, he's been eliminated and he will be spending the rest of the tournament watching the stream. But congratulations to Euro David, who's now qualified for the losers round 3 matchup, where he will be racing against either Elite Casper or Charlie 0989. So just have a look at the final race results, and Euro David winning with a time of 8 minutes and 52 seconds. So that's shorter than what I thought it would be. I thought races would be around 10 minutes. And interestingly, we've seen no rain tonight. The weather is undynamic, but there's been 0 rain. I really want to see rain, as that definitely could have spiced up 1 or 2 of these races, especially without setups. But unfortunately for them, the rain is not there. Oh, sorry, unfortunately for me, the rain is not there. I'm sure the drivers would be loving to not have rain if possible. But we'll have to wait and see, as in chat, good sportsmanship there between AJK and Euro David, with them accepting AJK accepting that he was a bit over ambitious with the attempted overtake on his compatriot Euro David. But anyways, we are now moving on to the losers round 2 second matchup between Elite Casper and Charlie 0989. Not sure if Elite Casper will make it, as he did not he had some connection issues, I believe, in his semi-final against FBR Black Box, but we'll wait and see. As actually projected end time of this tournament is going to be way earlier than I expected. We're already 60% through the tournament. I thought the races would take longer, and obviously we've had a few drivers not turn up, so that's probably shortened the time significantly of what I expected the races to be. But Charlie, I forgot to generate the track. Charlie is in the lobby, and we're just waiting on the Casper to join, as the next track will be is going to be France. So that's certainly an interesting track to race around. But unfortunately for AJK, he becomes the first driver to be eliminated, apart from Riker and Crumpton. But both of those guys, Riker wasn't home, and Crumpton unfortunately didn't join. Not quite sure why, but we are just waiting on Elite Casper here to join before we can get going here for the next race. But anyways, if Casper does not join due to his issues, then it will mean Charlie will face Euro David in the losers round 3. But before that, we'll have FER Black Box and Ken in the winners finals, and then we will have whoever wins that. Whoever loses that playing the winner. Racing the winner of Euro David and what looks to be Charlie 0989 as Casper is not joining, so I think we will accept a forfeit there for Casper, as he, I think, is struggling to get in. So Charlie gets a bypass in next round. So next race is FER Black Box and Ken 945. That is going to be a good race. Oh. As the invites are out for FER Black Box and Ken, I'll generate a new track to make it fair, and the track is going to be it's going to be all the way back here, so it's back here. We're going to Azerbaijan for the winners final, so this is definitely going to be an interesting race, as we wait for these guys to join the lobby. Ken is now into the lobby, so should be able to get going. As now both drivers have readied up, so Ken, a tier 2 race winner multiple times, FER Black Box, a tier 3 race winner. This is going to be a very interesting matchup, to say the least. FER Black Box, who we saw take that close win in round 1 against Euro David, we'll be hoping he can face Euro David again, possibly in the final, if Euro David can make it through the losers bracket. Whoever loses this will go on to race the winner of Euro David versus Charlie, which is the next matchup after these two. So it'll be interesting to see who wins that, because either way, if Euro David beats Charlie, then and Ken is defeated by Black Box, then either way, whoever makes it to the final eventually, it will be a rematch between Black Box and that driver. But Ken got the benefit of starting in pole in this semi-final, and he leads us away off the first corner and the first 2 corners, where he ran a bit deep into turn 2. But at the moment, Black Box is just going to stick behind. Looks like he's going to deploy the same strategy as earlier. Ken is struggling very much here on the opening few corners, struggling to get the car slowed down. But Black Box, it looks like he's going to deploy the same tactic, as he did against NRL David, to wait behind for the DRS, and he used more DRS and ERS to get past on the final lap. But at the moment, neither driver has deployed much ERS, and both are at 100% at the moment, but they both splurge it off the exit of the castle section. But at the moment, all is balanced so far. It looks like Ken is able to pull away a little bit from Black Box, but of course Black Box may just be conserving his tyres for that final lap push. Oh, he hits the wall there, and that's definitely not going to help him in its course to get past. But at the moment, he's having to drain the ERS to try stay with Ken here, as Ken is very fast off this first lap at 44.5. He struggled a bit through the first corners though, so we'll have to wait and see as through turn 1 and turn 2, this time he doesn't miss his braking point into turn 2, and that means he has got the upper hand on Black Box as they go down towards turn 3 for the second time in this race. Black Box clips the wall a little bit, but damage is not on, so that will not pose any harm to the man in black. Both drivers running livery mainly dominated by black, but Ken has got the Evergaming livery, and Black Box has got this very cool and unique splattered paint, I guess you could say. I'm not really sure what the livery is, but it looks very cool, I have to say. But that will not be going through Black Box's mind right now, as he's having to work here to stay with Ken. He's used more ERS than the finished driver in front of him. This looks like it's going to be certainly very close between these two drivers. Once again, like Black Box had against Euro David, Black Box has not had it easy here. He's had to beat Euro David, now he's going to have to beat what's looking like a very quick and resilient Ken here in the winners final. But of course, if he does lose, there's always a second chance he can get back to Ken if he can win all his loser brackets races. But at the moment, Ken is dominating proceedings here, but Black Box has managed to stay within DRS here, and Ken set a fastest lap, but I think Black Box beat it. Yeah, he did by barely anything, less than a tenth there, separating the two drivers here at the moment. So the pace is very equalized. I think Black Box may have had a little twitch in towards turn 4, or maybe that was just my screen bugging out, but either way, he's not lost too much time from it if he did have it, and he actually set a purple sector 1, so maybe it was just my screen bugging out. Looks like these drivers are keeping it clean, no time penalties so far, and no crashes through the castle section, which I'm very grateful for, as that is one of the easiest sections to lose a car. But at the moment, Ken has upper hand as he has greater ERS, but it's only by about 10%, and FER Black Box will of course have the benefit of DRS down the straight, so we have to wait and see who can conquer the Baku Street circuit and take victory here. Ken gets a much better release off the final few corners here than Blackfoot does, and the gap is already 8 tenths before 9 tenths now before they've even hit straight, but it looks like Ken used a lot of ERS there, so now the ERS levels are practically even, but it looks like Ken is just managing to get himself enough of a gap through the final sector to pull away, as Black Box pulls in on the first sector and the second sector, but through that middle sector, through that final sector is where Black Box is losing all the time here, as both set new personal bests, but Ken's was quicker by about a tenth, so that must have been that improved sector 1. But now Ken's big advantage, which was his increased ERS levels compared to FER Black Box, that advantage is now gone. So it's going to be equal ERS, and it's all going to be about who gets the run here onto the start of lap 5. Can Black Box improve that sector 3 and get closer to Ken here as they come out of the castle section? Ken now has restored a bit of an advantage in terms of ERS levels, about 10% more than Black Box behind him. But of course, Black Box doesn't have to get him on the straight away at lap 5. He can wait until the very last run to the line on lap 5, but that is a very risky tactic. It looks like Ken just has so much more speed through those two corners, much more confidence than Black Box. Maybe Black Box is struggling, or maybe he's lost a bit of confidence because of his little knock on turn 1, but it's not shown in his pace as he sets a new fastest lap. The pace here from these guys is absolutely astonishing. They are setting very fast lap times in this race so far. Ken, his fastest lap is now 2 tenths slower, and they're both out of ERS, so Black Box hasn't been able to make the overtake, so it looks like it's going to be a final lap overtake if it happens on the run down to the straight, and it's going to be close. But of course, Black Box doesn't have the confidence that Ken does on those final 2 corners where it's just a swing of the steering wheel. We've seen Ken pulling away from him all the time here, but it looks like Black Box has managed to stay much closer this lap, and this lap he's much more connected to the back of that Evora Gaming car as they now both deploy the ERS on the run down to this tricky downhill braking section where it's easy to get wrong and easy to nearly run into the back of someone, as Gazzy found out back in 2018 when he nearly ran into his teammate, I believe, who at the time would have been Brendan Hartley, I want to say. But either way, it's going to be the run up to the line. FER Black Box is going much cleaner run this time. They're both out of ERS, but Black Box is going to have the DRS as they go towards the line. Can Black Box get the run? They're both on 0 ERS, and Black Box, he's running out of straight, he's running out of time, and Ken is going to hang on here just about by almost just under 2 attempts. He's going to hang on here to win the winners final and go on to the grand finals. Unfortunate for Black Box, who just didn't have the run out of the final 2 corners, and the one time he did, which was the last lap, he just didn't have enough ERS to get past Ken. But either way, he takes home the fastest lap, but it's Ken who wins here in the grand finals, and he will be going on to face the winner of whoever wins the lower bracket, as Black Box will now go on to face the winner of URL David versus Charlie, which is our next matchup here. So a great race there between Ken and Black Box. No what's I gonna say? No actual on-track battling, but still a very close psychological battle between the 2 drivers there, as you're with one mistake Black Box could have taken that, but now it's URL David versus Charlie 0989. As we're now going to generate the track for this next matchup, and it's going to be at Abu Dhabi. So the Yas Marina track circuit is where we'll be heading for losers round 3 between URL David and Charlie 0989. Whoever wins this will go on to face FER Black Box in the next round. So these drivers will just ready up and we should be ready to go. As the session will be starting in a minute, as the thing says, but that countdown has now expired. So, Uriel David versus Charlie. None of these drivers have met before in this tournament so far, but either way, if Uriel David wins, he'll be facing Black Box, who he raced in round 1. So it'll be interesting to see a matchup between those two. Uriel David has the advantage of pole here as we start the Yasmina Grand Prix, but he's got a poor start off the line, and Charlie's alongside in towards turn 1. Charlie's going to go for it, and there's contact made already at turn 1 on lap 1. So could that be the end of Charlie's chances of possibly winning here at winning this losers round 3? I wonder if Uriel David could slow down so we could get an actual race here. Because at the moment Charlie will not be closing this gap. I've sent Uriel David a message. I don't know if he'll see it though, as he is pushing, but hopefully the Norwegian driver sees it, and yeah, he's seen it, so he will be slowing down to let Charlie catch up, and we'll be going again. Basically, so lap 1 has been completely neutralized, and we're gonna go racing again as Uriel Davids went a bit too slow, and Charlie is now taking the lead, but Charlie giving him a little weave to say thank you, and we'll go racing here again. So Uriel David now has got to make the move now on Charlie, as he actually misjudged how slow he was going and let Charlie in his black engineered Insanity car close up as they now head towards this little 2-turn bit before the chicane, which actually has been removed in real life for that infamous, some people would call it, or famous corner, which gave Max Verstappen his first F1 World Championship. But Uriel David now is going to the inside of Charlie as they head down towards the tricky braking zone. There's a bit of contact, but Charlie holds his ground, but Uriel David is going to get the run now, where as they head down towards the 3 chicane bit. I don't really know how to describe this corner, but this has also been removed, but Charlie holds on for now. So Uriel David's going to have to wait, and he's going to have to attack again to try and get past Charlie 0989 to win this losers round 3. Remember, both of these drivers have already lost once. Both of them lost in the first round, and Charlie got 2 bypasses actually to get to this stage of losers round 3, whereas Uriel David, he got a bypass and then had to beat Edgy K to get to this stage. So it was certainly not as clear cut for the Norwegian driver, but AJK lost to Uriel David and he beat Charlie, so logic would tell you that Euro David is going to win, as I think Charlie has let Euro David through there because Euro David let him through on lap 1. Not quite sure why he's waited a whole lap to do that, and they even battled, but maybe he just made a mistake. I don't know what's going on, but either way, he has the DRS now on Euro David, so he's going to close in down the straight and could possibly launch a move down the inside coming off. He gets a bit stuck on the curb, but he's closing in on Euro David. Might launch one down the inside, but no, he's gonna stick behind for now as they go through. Oh, he's hit the wall there. Luckily he hasn't lost too much time, but that has, unfortunately for him, dropped him out of the DRS range of Euro David. So now David could go on to win this race if Charlie cannot get back within DRS, but Charlie looks like he has a bit more pace through sector 3 than Euro David. He closed in a bit, but through that corner he just lost it. He gets all over the curb, and that is Charlie round, and that has pretty much confirmed Euro David as the winner, unless Euro David is slowing down, which he is here, as Charlie is still struggling to get his car back in the right direction as he finally gets going again here. But yeah, Euro David, nice sportsmanship there. He's waiting for Charlie. He wants to make this a duel. That's worth remembering, as Charlie now has to catch up to David, as we're already on lap 4 of 5, and also Charlie's picked up the 2-second time penalty, which I did not realise. But anyways, he's caught back up to David, and David's got to get going here, or Charlie's going to do the same thing he did last time. It looks like David has gone back up to speed though this time, and unlike last time, he will not lose the lead, as he was more aware of Charlie's incoming speed than he was last time. But Charlie has gone back within the DRS. Unfortunately for him, he has a 2-second time penalty, so that is probably going to affect the outcome, even if he does get past David here. But David's hanging on quite nicely here in the losers round 3, and setting up a rematch between him and FVR Black Box, which will be the next race here in this NRL 1v1 tournament. But in the meantime, Charlie is doing his best to try put a thwart in the side of Euro David, but he's actually just picked up a second 3-second time penalty, so that is the end of his chances of winning. But can he possibly try and muster something, anything, to get past the Red Bull? Doesn't look like it at the moment, as Charlie is going to have to stick behind for now. But unfortunately for Charlie, he's fallen out of the DRS range, and Euro David will be taking this victory in losers round 3, unless he makes a big mistake, which would be unlikely. And this is going to set up a losers final between Euro David and Black Box. Of course, we saw those two race against each other in round 1, where they were separated by 3,000 of a second coming towards the line. So we could definitely have something like that again on our hands. But for now, congratulations to Euro David, because he's going to the losers final after beating Charlie. He picks up a 2-second time penalty, but it doesn't matter, because he's won here underneath the Yas Marina lights in the Red Bull that gave Max Verstappen his first championship, and Euro David moves on to the losers final, and he will take on FBR Black Box. So let's see how this rematch goes between Euro David and Black Box, who are the next matchup. Charlie unfortunately has been eliminated. He takes third position in tonight's sorry, not third, fourth position in tonight's tournament. Thank you for tuning in, Charlie. Thank you for racing with us tonight, but unfortunately your tournament is over, as we now head down to the final three: Ken, FVR Blackbots, and Uriel David. So Charlie versus Uriel David versus Black Box is next. As Black Box is now invited to the lobby. And I will generate the track now. For the losers final, this is a rematch of round 1. It's going to be at track Bahrain. Oh, I did not mean to do that. It's going to be at Bahrain. So, matchup number 2 between these guys. It's a rematch from round 1. Euro David will be desperate for revenge. FVR Blackbox, he's just going to try and replicate what he did in the first round. But Bahrain is a very different circuit to Silverstone. So, it's going to be very interesting here between the PlayStation Tier 1 champion and multiple time race winner from PlayStation Tier 3, FER Black Box. So it's actually pretty cool. The final 3 are Tier 1 champion, Tier 2 multiple race winner in Ken, and a Tier 3 multiple race winner as well in Black Box. So all 3 tiers are being represented here tonight in the 1v1 tournament, as we now head towards the final 3. FER Black Box versus Uriel David. They've already battled it out once at Silverstone in glum conditions, but now they've got to battle it out under the lights. FER Black Box gets a worse start than Uriel David. Uriel David's going to have the run down towards turn 1. Down towards turn 1, Uriel David's going to get the move, but Black Box Blake Slater. But Uriel David gets it done, and Black Box looked for the switchback. He cannot get it done, and Uriel David has got himself up into P1 in the first corner. So a great start from the Red Bull driver. I believe that's actually the first time we've seen someone who started second take the lead on the first lap. So congrats to Uriel David for completing that feat, and he's done just what he needs to do if he wants to win this matchup. Remember, this is now win or go home between these two, and they are going to be desperate to take home victory here in this 1 versus 1 tournament. But at the moment, Uriel David is managing to drive away from Black Box. But remember what we saw in round 1 between these two. Black Box just stuck behind and managed to get the launch with more ERS on Uriel David on the final lap. And at the moment, it looks like a similar feat as David runs wide and also has less ERS than Black Box already. So this could be a repeat of what we saw in round 1. But Black Box, of course, last time he tried his tactic out at Azerbaijan, it did not work for him, and he cannot get the move done as he just didn't have enough ERS. So he has to manage that ERS here on these final few laps. Black Box gets nice and close through turn 1, but can't make anything work. Of course, if you're new to F1, then you have to wait till lap 3 of a race before DRS is activated. And DRS is the drag reduction system that opens a flap in your rear wing, which enables you to go faster down the straight. But at the moment, neither of those drivers getting those benefits, but Black Box has definitely got the benefits of some extra confidence in the car as he sets the purple sector 1. Is now all over the back of Euro David into the tricky breaker section of turn 10, I think. Yeah, turn 10, as they now head down towards 11. But Black Box is only 3 tenths behind as they now go round that long bending corner that never seems to end. And Black Box is all over the back of Euro David and might even go for the move here in towards the final corner. He's going to have a look at it and he's going to go for it. Oh, he sells the dummy, but Euro David completely unfazed from it, hits his apex perfectly, and he's actually pulled away a bit because of that dummy by Black Box, but Black Box sets the fastest out, so it looks like he's definitely got the pace at the moment, 2 tenths quicker than Euro David. As they head down towards turn 1, Euro David's had a bit of a moment in towards turn 1. He locked the rear brakes, and you heard the car lock up a bit there and slide through turn 1. But Black Box, he's got the DRS, he's got the ERS, he's going to go for the move. No, he's not. He's going to stick behind for now. So it looks like Black Box is just going to use the same tactic as he did last time. But Euro David, he didn't waste his ERS. He didn't use any of his ERS down that straight, even though he made a mistake at turn 1. So I think he knows Black Box's tactic is to try use the lesser ERS to get past Euro David, so he's saving his ERS, he's not falling for the bluff. So will Black Box have to change his tactic here as he runs all over the turn 10 exit curve? But at the moment he's just sticking behind, but even if they have equal ERS, he will easily get past David because of, well, slipstream and the DRS effect, which is very overpowered at Bahrain, and he could be having another look here in towards turn 1 on Euro David, but Euro David covers it off nicely this time, but he does run a bit wide out of the final corner. Can Black Box possibly mount an attacking towards turn 1? He's not going to use any ERS, and Euro David is using quite a bit, but Black Box is going to go for the move down towards turn 1 on lap 4. He gets the car slowed down, but he just about, but Euro David's going to get the switch back now. Down towards turn 4 they go, and it looks like FER Black Box is going to have to stick behind until the final lap. So the first signs of battle between these two have already started. Euro David versus FER Black Box. Can Black Box win here for the second time against the Norwegian driver, as it's a win or go home? Whoever loses this loses final, unfortunately, is eliminated, and whoever wins goes on to race Ken in the final. But look how close Black Box is. He knows he has to be patient, wait until the final lap. That's where all the opportunities will open up for him as he closes in massively with the DRS. The 3 DRS zones around here make it very hard to fall out of DRS unless he makes a massive mistake. So that's why Black Box is able to follow so closely to the Red Bull car in front of him, as Euro David has about 10% less ERS than FER Black Box at the moment, as they now head down towards the final corner, the final lap of this race between Black Box and Euro David. It's the rematch, but it's been nothing short of exciting as they head down towards turn 1. FER Black Box has decided not to use any of his ERS, so Euro David has used quite a bit, but Black Box has used none. Black Box though is going to get the run out towards turn 4. Can he get the move done on Euro David as they head down towards turn 4? No, he can't, so he's going to have to stick behind, but I think he could be waiting for the 3rd straight on this track, as we saw him getting close last lap. He's improved on his second one by almost 4 tenths, 3.5 tenths. making him purple through the first sector. Euro Davis made a mistake. Euro Davis made a mistake, and this is going to leave him vulnerable into the downhill braking of turn 10. Black Box had a look on the outside, but now he's going to get the run on Euro David on the exit of turn 10. ERS fully deployed, DRS, everything turned on for Black Box, but it's not enough. In towards turn 11, Euro Davis sticks in front for now, but there's still an opportunity for Black Box if he can send it down the inside at the final corner. He's so close to the rear end of the Red Bull. He runs it perfectly onto the curb. Can he get it into the final corner? Both are deploying all their ERS. They're using everything. Black Box is going to look down the inside. Euro David unfazed, and Euro David's going to come to the line and take the victory here in Bahrain. He gets his revenge on Black Box, and he knocks him out of the tournament, and Euro David is going to be ecstatic with that because he's off to the grand finals to face Ken. And unfortunately for FVR Black Box, he's lost to Euro David, and he's going to be fuming with that after winning the first round against Euro David. This time he just couldn't get it done, and that is so unfortunate for FVR Black Box. He's unfortunately knocked out of the tournament. But now we will be heading to the grand final, Euro David versus Ken. And that was an amazing final lap there. FER Black Box and Euro David once again producing the great stuff. But now it's time for the grand final between Euro David and Calais Pookie. If Calais wins this could potentially be the final race of the evening, and we are going to be going to Japan here for the grand final. So let me remind you, if Ken wins this, he wins everything. If Ken doesn't win, they go again. So it's going to be interesting to see how what happens here in this matchup, as both drivers are getting ready to go racing here in Japan for the grand final here. Can Calais Pookie, otherwise known as Ken, win it in the first race, or will he have to take it to 2 races to win against the reigning Tier 1 champion? Or will Euro David win both races and take home the title overall? We'll have to wait and see now as we go towards 5 red lights. Euro David has the benefit of pole, but can Ken get the better start? It's lights and away we go. Euro David gets initially a better launch, and it's a much better start for the Red Bull driver, of course. In the white Honda livery for Red Bull, Japan was initially the track it was meant to be designed for, but unfortunately due to COVID implications, the Japanese Grand Prix couldn't take place last year, so they used this livery at Turkey, I believe. But either way, Euro David is driving with it here today, and he's making a bit of a gap to Calais Pookie as Ken runs a bit deep, but luckily keeps it within track limit. But at the moment, Euro David is doing exactly what he needs to do. It's going to be a tough psychological battle for the reigning Tier 1 champion, but this guy has overcome so much adversity in NRL leagues. Of course, he has to win twice to win the final, so it's going to be interesting to see if he can do it here against Ken, as the gap is already 8/10 between the two drivers here on lap 1, but Ken's pulled it back a bit on the main straight. as Ken now has closed in a lot through the S section, and the gap is now only about 4 tenths between the two drivers, as Ken is all over the back of David as they head down in towards the hairpin, and Ken is definitely starting to pick up the pace, and he's going to get that DRS for lap 3, but he'll have to wait till the exit of Spoon before he can deploy it, as he will not get it on the main straight due to the detection point, and there's no other DRS zones unfortunately at this track. And actually there's no DRS zone here either, there's only one DRS zone, so ignore what I completely said about Ken getting the DRS on the exit of Spoon, as he will not. But anyways, he's going to be really close to Euro David as they end lap 2, and he has a bit of a moment out of the final corner, but it's okay as he sets the fastest lap with 1:36. He's gone about 2 tenths quicker than Euro David's fastest lap, and Euro David will definitely be starting to feel the pressure of the ever gaming car of Ken, as it's starting to loom all over the back of him as they go through the S section, and once again navigating it for the 3rd time in this race, and Ken getting a bit on the grass there as they head towards the Degners now. Ken a lot later and a lot more confident in Degner 2 than Euro David, and Euro David and they start to feel the pressures. Look how close Ken gets through the hairpin. You can see the twitch of oversteer he got on the exit of the hairpin, as now Ken is going to have to fight hard on the exit of Spoon, and next lap he will have DRS down the main straight. So really I think that's really the only realistic overtaking opportunity. If they both have equal ERS, which they pretty much do, then there's no way Ken will get the move done here down to 360R and to the last few corners. But let's wait and see what happens. They now go down towards turn 1. No massive DRS straights like we saw at many of the tracks before this, like Belgium, Azerbaijan, other tracks that we've been to, Silverstone, Mexico. Yeah, a lot of tracks with long straights. Japan doesn't have that many long straights, so it's pretty much who's quicker in the corners and who can make it work. And if you start on pole, you're very likely to win, and Euro David is making that theory at the moment, proving it right, as he's going purple through sector 1, and Ken cannot get past him as he just doesn't have enough overspeed, and due to the 1 DRS zone it makes it very difficult to overtake. But Ken here, he has a bit more ERS than Euro David, and he has a bit more speed, I'd say, so he might actually get Euro David onto the final corner on the exit of Spoon, because at the moment he's looking very quick off the exit of Spoon, and he just launches himself up for a move possibly into front chord. He might go for it this lap. They're both deploying the ERS, and they both stopped deploying the ERS at the same time, so Euro David knew Ken would try go for it down and through 360R, so Euro David defended it quite well. But Ken now will have another chance down the main straight. Euro David sets the fastest lap, but as they go down towards turn 1, Ken's deploying the ERS and the DRS, but he can't get past. But look how much ERS he's made Euro David use, so that means on the exit of Spoon he could have a serious run at the Red Bull driver here, as he has almost 30% more ERS. So this could be crucial here as we come towards the end of this race. But at the moment Euro David has the advantage, he has the track position, so at the moment he is going to win it. But he slides through Degner 1, and that's going to give Ken all the incentive to get nice and close through Degner 2. Could he launch one down the inside into the hairpin? Euro David covers it off nicely, but there leaves him a bit compromised on the exit, but not enough to the point where Ken gets a massive advantage. but Ken now is going to be all over the back of Euro David as they head now towards Spoon, through Spoon, down into fourth gear as they now flick up to fifth and put the power down. Both going to be deploying all the ERS. Euro David has about 30%, but his is draining quickly. So is Ken's, but it looks like Euro David might just have enough as they head down now towards the final few corners. Ken's going to look to the inside. Euro David's going to hold him off, and he's going to take race 1 here in the grand finals, and that has forced a bracket reset. So these two will race again to decide who wins the tournament overall. As Euro David has taken race 1 here in grand finals by 0.5 of a second. An amazing feat by the Norwegian driver, but unfortunately because he came from the losers bracket, it means a bracket reset. So that means they will race again, and the track generator has generated it's generated track number 4, so that is Spain. Okay, that is a very interesting track for the finale, but we're heading to Spain for the final race of this tournament. So let's see how this ends between these two drivers that have fought so well so far through this tournament. And obviously whoever gets pole here will have a massive advantage. As Spain is a very easy track to win from pole, as we've seen in real life. And fortunately for Euro David, he's got that advantage, but he's not got the greatest of starts, and it's going to give Ken a run down towards turn 1. Ken is going to get alongside, he's going to get in the slipstream. Down towards turn 1 they go, but it looks like David's going to stick in front for now. So Euro David leads us away. Unfortunately for Ken, he did not get pole position this time. So Euro David getting a bit gifted here, as getting a bit of gifted pole here, as he's received it twice now. So let's wait and see how this pans out, as there's still every opportunity Ken can get past him. Spain is a difficult track to overtake at, but it's not too difficult. Of course, we're still running on the old layout of the track, so we have this super slow chicane, as Ken got all out of shape and nearly lost it into the barriers there on the exit of that corner. But fortunately for him, he kept the car facing the right way as they now go through the final sector and head onto the main straight. But at the moment, Euro David's got the advantage here on the first few laps, and it looks like Ken is struggling to stay with him. As if you're just joining us, Euro David won the first race, but because Ken was the winner from the second, was the winner from the winners bracket, to make it fair, they raced again. So Ken is not disadvantaged in that way. So at the moment, Euro David is seemingly dominating. But Euro David at the moment has lost a bit of time on this lap. At the line last lap, the gap was about 6/10. Now it's at about 5/10, as Ken sets the new fastest lap of this race, and this is going to get dicey towards the final few laps between these guys. Oh, as Ken gets on the curb, nearly loses it there through turn 2, but luckily keeps it facing the right way. But either way, Ken now is still within the DRS of Euro David and is still right there challenging for the win of this race. The gap is about 5 tenths, and now Ken has the DRS, so now we're going to start to see some real action here between these guys. The gap is now down to, momentarily flicked down to 4 tenths, and now it's back up to 5 as the competitors head through this tricky final sector where it's so easy to get it wrong. As it now flicked down to 2nd, back up to 3rd, and Ken's had an awful exit off the final corner, so that's dented any chance of him getting past here on this lap of the race anyways, but he might have a chance on the final lap. As they now head down towards turn 4, where Hamilton and Rosberg famously crashed in 2016, the year that Nico Rosberg won the championship before retiring. But can Euro David win another championship here in the NRL? He's won the PlayStation Tier 1 Drivers' Championship. Could he take home honours for this 1v1 tournament here tonight? But Ken is going to try to stop that from happening. PlayStation Tier 2 man has put up a real fight here tonight, but will experience from the champion just see Ken off, as Ken has been rather unlucky as he did not get pole position in either race here. But he has got the ERS and the DRS down towards turn 1. He's getting an awesome slipstream on Euro David in towards the first corner. Ken's going to go for it, under braking. Euro David just about shuts the door enough for Ken not to have a move, but Ken's going to have the run down towards turn 4. Look how close he is on the Red Bull as they head down towards turn 4, but he can't make the move, and Ken has to stick behind for now. As they now head down towards turn 5. This is the grand final, ladies and gentlemen. This will decide who the winner of the 1v1 tournament is, as Ken is all over the back of Euro David now. But Euro David is hanging on just about, but Ken is giving it everything here as we go down towards the final DRS zone before the end of this race. Ken's going to possibly launch it around the outside. He looks for it. Euro David goes defensive, defends it well, but now this is going to give Ken the run. Can he possibly force a move in the final sector? This is the grand final and is separated by a tenth heading into the final few corners. Can Ken do anything? Can he make a heroic move? No, he can't. Euro David is going to hold on, and Ken spins, and Euro David will win the 1 versus 1 tournament. And what a tournament it's been. Ken, in utter despair, he just stopped on the track. He's had enough. He cannot believe it. He was so close to what would have been an epic victory, but unfortunately for him, he's going to have to wait until next time, as he's disqualified from the session, and that confirms Euro David as the winner of the 1v1 tournament. Huge congratulations to David. Put in a real shift here. Came all the way from the losers bracket to win. He lost in round one, ladies and gentlemen, and he won every single race in the losers bracket and won twice in the final against Ken to secure the victory. He had to beat Ken twice. Just an insane run from Euro David. Lost round 1 only because he had a time penalty, and that was only separated. They're only separated by 3,000 at the line. Round 2, he beat Edge UK, he beat Charlie, he beat FER Blackbox, and eventually he went on to beat Ken twice in the final to take home the honours of this 1v1 tournament. But I've been Everett Gaming F1 Lover streaming today, and I hope you guys all enjoy this 1v1 tournament. If you want to get involved, head to our Discord where you can sign up. But thank you for all tuning in today, and I hope you have a lovely rest of the evening, and see you all for future events. Thank you. I've been F1 Lover. Goodbye.